Hi, I'm Irving. Welcome to Kato and that other guy. As we begin today, we see some guys pulling off a daring jewel theft on a plane. Posing as the guys who provide air conditioning, they gassed everybody and made off with the goods. They also left a calling card. In his office, Britt Reed is trying to figure out who might be trying to frame him when Miss Case comes in with a rather interesting letter.
It describes this morning's holdup down to the smallest detail.
So did this afternoon's edition of the Daily Sentinel.
Look at the postmark.
5 p.m. yesterday. Well, that's 16 hours before it happened.
To be a successful publisher, you have to be able to count to 16 on one hand.
He even pins it on the Green Hornet.
Read further. He claims he has the ability to predict any crime the Green Hornet is about to commit.
He pays the writer a visit.
And this is your little crystal ball, eh?
Mm-hmm. I'm Miss Laura Spinner, the prettiest computer operator this side of the Atlantic.
Miss Spinner, how do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Reed? I'm so glad that you finally have taken an interest in us.
Well, how could I help? Your prediction was amazing.
But she's pretty. That's the most important thing. Just ask her boss.
Why pinpoint the Green Hornet?
Well, why not? And he is the most masterful criminal of our time.
Makes sense.
As a matter of fact, when you called to say you were coming over here, I had Laura program the machine to make another prediction.
So she does the programming and predictions. And you do what exactly? He reads off 4 big events happening in the city where there'll be a lot of money, the kind that would attract the Green Hornet. Miss Spinner does her spinning and comes up with...
Time, 9 o'clock. Location, the box office of the city sports arena.
Keep in mind, this was long before debit cards, and even credit cards weren't that common. The receipts would all be in cash and checks, and I don't want to try and count it. He contacts D.A. Scanlon and brings him up to date, including the letter.
Well, you've met him.
And his computer operator. Girl named Laura Spinner. The one part that doesn't fit. I ran a quick check on her. She's one of the top technicians in the country. Brilliant and definitely honest.
Maybe Marcus has her mesmerized.
Possibly. But she really believes in what she's doing. Even gave me the next prediction.
He tells Scanlon about the next prediction, then comes up with the stupidest plan possible.
I'll have the place surrounded.
No, don't move in yet. Marcus is setting us up for something big. Give him a bit more rope. Then tighten it at the proper moment.
So just let him rob the place and blame the Green Hornet? Who cares what he's setting up? If you stop him and put him in jail now, he can't set up any more of it, so it doesn't matter. But if you're determined not to stop him, the smart thing to do to raise questions about the Green Hornet is be seen and positively identified somewhere far away from the crime while it's happening. That proves it couldn't have really been the Green Hornet because he and his car were busy miles from here. Is that his plan?
Let's roll, Kato.
Looks like it. I hope that's what he's doing. No, he's going to try and catch them, but he doesn't try to stop the robbery. When they take off, he and Kato speed after them. So now, not only is there a Green Hornet sticker at the scene of the crime, but the Green Hornet's distinctive car was seen there as well. He may be able to count to 16 on one hand, but he sure can't count to common sense.
Kato, abandon the chase. We lost them.
This is why you either go in and stop them in progress, or you go be seen somewhere else so everybody knows it wasn't you. They head back to Marcus's apartment to see if he went there. He's having a costume party, so they should fit right in.
Beautiful, beautiful. How else would the Green Hornet make an entrance?
We thought you would appreciate it.
Oh, well, you're the smash of the party. Your disguises are very good, excellent.
He makes it clear that yes, I really am the Green Hornet and I want to know what your scheme is.
We're partners. Right down the middle.
What makes you so sure I want you for a partner? You're a nickel and dime operator.
He tells the Green Hornet when and where the big strike will happen.
Barker and Benton, stockbrokers. Tomorrow night. $250,000 in negotiable securities.
And the rest of it?
The rest of what?
The phony plan?
The rest of the plan involves a prediction that the Green Hornet will rob a bank. He says the police will go for it. He has a fan who will make sure of it.
Use the power of the press. Force them to throw a cordon around the First Metropolitan Bank tonight. If they refuse, threaten to expose them for incompetence.
That could work. Want me to handle it?
No, I'll handle it, Mike.
I hope so. I might even be there myself, just so as I can see the Green Hornet walk into the trap.
That's right. His super fan is Mike Axford. Poor Mike. He tries so hard, but he can't quit stepping on his...
I don't know. It sounds awfully easy, Britt.
Too easy. Marcus doesn't want any partners, especially the Green Hornet.
Well, what's he up to?
Next move is his.
Just then, Miss Case calls.
You were right. Marcus just called. Problems with the computer. It just contradicted this morning's prediction.
Here we go. Who's it going to be instead, Barker and Benton?
Well, how did you know?
I recognize the sour smell of a double cross.
So in reality, he's setting the Green Hornet up to be captured or worse. You just can't trust these computer guys. Meanwhile, Miss Spinner has been watching Marcus and his dealings with the Green Hornet. I wonder if that'll turn out to be important.
It was something very strange just happened. Mr. Reed's office called and told me that the police will be waiting for the Green Hornet.
Good.
But Wyatt, Benton, and Barker, that wasn't the computer result.
A genuinely smart guy would make something up about his meeting with the Green Hornet and telling him about the other place or some such, but Marcus isn't that smart.
What? Plan of Customs Warehouse. What do you have these for?
Because of $3 million worth of gold, that's why. Just sitting there waiting to be shipped overseas.
Sweet, smart, naive Miss Spinner. The light bulb finally comes on.
So that's your long-range plan, huh? To take advantage of my reputation, to add a little dignity to your scheme for becoming rich.
I am sick of this hand-to-mouth life that I've been leading. Well, tonight, that will be all over.
She does the smart thing and says, I want in, makes the deal, and then later slips away and calls the police.
And if I could stop it.
Joe?
If she was as smart as she's supposed to be, that is. Instead, now she's hosed. At the warehouse, Marcus gasses a guard and takes his uniform. Dave's not here. That wouldn't actually become a thing until 4 years later when Cheech and Chong released their first album.
Something's wrong with Dave.
Marcus hops on a forklift while the others bring in their huge truck. Reed had told Scanlon he was going to let Marcus take him to wherever the big strike was. I guess that's what he meant. How did he get it in there without them knowing? Green Hornet, that's how.
Now go on, get after it. Come on.
While Marcus tries to make a run for it with the forklift and the gold, henchmen decide to take on Kato and the Black Beauty. Once again, we see Bruce Lee thoroughly wasted. It would have made a lot more sense to let him shoot until they ran out of bullets, then Kato gets out of the car and we get to see Bruce Lee do what he was actually known for. So far, this show seems to think he was a professional driver. I don't get it. Why couldn't they do that with all three? It would have been a lot more interesting. Having Bruce Lee on the show, then sticking him behind a car wheel is probably the biggest mistake this show made. The Green Hornet and Marcus finally square off. In good 60s hero fashion, the bad guy always goes for a weapon.
You wanted the gold, Marcus. Now you've got it.
And falls on his face with it. The Green Hornet and Kato leave them wrapped up nice and neat for the police. The Green Hornet is off the hook for those robberies. Sort of. Some people like Mike still think he was the mastermind. And we're off to the credits. It had me until the car came out of the truck. I cannot envision any scenario where they could get a car in there, backed in no less, and put up a false wall to hide it without being seen by somebody. Now, if the two of them had snuck into the truck and concealed themselves, or were in slings under the truck, or something like that, I could go with it. But the whole car, sorry, too much. I can't believe Marcus would be careless enough to let something that big happen. The real hero of this episode is Laura Spinner. In the end, it's her testimony that puts Marcus and his gang away for a very long time. Marcus used her, but made the mistake of underestimating her. He also made the mistake of keeping her alive and taking her with him on the heist. But that was so the Green Hornet could rescue her. He has to save the damsel in distress after all. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that bit with the car inside the truck. While you're doing that, I'll be working on the next episode. Until then.